anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.喂，人秀，嘿，是啊，我在上课啊。你说哪一门课？航运吗？上线了。是海洋那门课嘛？哦。没有，我知道，我特别早上给他们请假。好 ，OK， 好 ，OK， 好，拜拜。Your system, it's because of COVID-19, we cannot see each other, physically. But I hope that I can see your beautiful and handsome faces. Okay. Yeah, and whenever I ask you something, I hope that you can respond, and which will make me sure that you are online and listening. Is my voice okay? Is it loud enough? Can you all hear me?
Voice
Can you
is okay.
So the voice is okay. A little bit lag. Yeah, I know. The lag problem could be from me and it could be from you. So I'm not sure. Are you all in school, or I believe you are at home using some Wi-Fi or 4G system? And yeah, it could be. It could have some lag. So okay. So this is our first class, and by the way, I have to apologize to all of you that because of my personal problem, I have some meeting in Taipei again. So today I will be lecturing, and the following, very likely following, 2 weeks. The following week will be by Professor Yang. And then my second class, it could be 4th week, so we will be discussing. But I will make sure that even though our class is separated into 2 slots, this week and probably 2 or 3 weeks from now, I will make sure that they will be separated enough that you will not be confusing. And by the way, last year some students said my English is too fast. So can you catch my English, the speed? Is
Yes.
my speed okay? Yes. And what others?
Yes.
If you have, okay. If you have any problem listening to my English, please, you can raise your hand or you can post me, saying anything. I will be, trying to either have a larger voice or slow down my English. Okay. And I believe many of you are having your first English lecture course, and I've been in this course for three times, and I forgot, 2 times or 3 times. And many of your senior who took this course are very good. So I expect you have the same standard. So it's my great pleasure, to come with you in these 2 weeks. Okay, and I'm the professor from. Okay, I will show the slide. Now we will begin to lecture my course. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm the professor from Department of Logistics Management from the first campus, and I've been lecturing the supply chain for, let me see, 15 years or something, or almost 20 years, and I'm lecturing the same course in undergraduate, graduate, and also the PhD program. So, and of course, the course material will be a little bit different, but there are some specific essence of the course, and you might not know that supply chain management, it also got some theories. So we will be talking about some very important theory behind the supply chain in order for the supply chain phenomenon in the future, when you face them. So as you can see, this is a dream car for many of the young people. This is style 3 of BMW. It's very good for young people. Of course, you need to have some money. And we are not talking about car, but we are, and many of the parts are, they are meant in and also in China. And many people do not like to buy a car assembled in China, and it's a little bit lower in price. And even though the car is assembled in Germany, and what do you think of the parts, all the parts? For example, the mirrors, as you can see here, the mirror, the hooks, radiator, doors, tail lights, these parts are not that critical, they're, to manufacture them, you do not need, very high industrial standard, and you can make them. For example, many of the, Taiwanese company, they produce a lot of lights, mirrors, radiator, doors, etc. Of course, people hope that when you buy a BMW, all the parts, especially those critical parts, could be manufactured in Germany. It's better, and of course, at least in Europe. But actually, many of them are either manufactured in China or in Taiwan. And I know some of my friends who are working in the industry about the lights, and they supply their parts to BMW. That's what they told me for the assembly. So as you can see, a supply chain, to manufacture a car, you need many parts, and those parts are supplied from, globally. So if we disassemble the car, into even smaller parts, you can see it's spread around the whole ground, and there are many parts. So how many parts, in general, to assemble a car? Can you understand my question? How many parts in general, is needed to assemble a car?
30,000 parts.
Great. You are genius. Thank you. Yeah, it takes about 30,000 parts to assemble a car. Of course, different car they have different number of parts. Great, thank you. And so and actually many of these parts are supplied from foreign countries. And this is an aircraft. We look into even more complicated product that man can make. Okay. This is an aircraft. If we travel, to foreign country, we need to take an aircraft. As you can see, that there are, an aircraft is also assembled by many parts. Okay, the gear, etc. And as you can see here, there are many companies around the world. They are supplying these parts. Of course, they are just some of the representatives. It's different aircraft, and they are all changing. So here we do not see Taiwan, but I have to make sure that actually Taiwan supply one part. You might not know, but I know that. The frame will hold all the blades, the blades. So with blades, so if you have high pressure or air from combustion, mixture of gas and oxygen, and after combustion, there will be high pressure and large volume of air going out, and it will trigger the blades to rotate. And the frame to hold the blade actually is made in Taiwan. It's quite a critical part for the engine. So we have to be proud of it. One company in Taiwan can supply that part. So as you can see, as we talk about the assembly of a car, it's a lot of parts are from different countries, and for an aircraft, these parts are also from different countries. So how many parts are there for an aircraft? We say that a car is 30,000, and how about an aircraft? Just give you a rough idea.
$6 million.
Right now there are only many two companies are producing this kind of passengers aircraft. One is from America, Boeing, and the other is from Europe.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, if you are 30 seconds, you are out of race. What do you need to change a car? When a car just stop, you see here and here, they will leave the car. Just at the same, you will leave the car, and all the people, how many are in this figure? Around 20. For example, to change the tire at least 4 here and 5 here. Someone, their screw is very easy. They just have a tool, and you can just turn, You can just turn and pull, and the tire is off, and then
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay, you are closer because that's part of the race. So then make it even faster. Anyone have bolder guess?
5 seconds.
Okay, even closer. So a little bit faster.
3 seconds.
Oh, you are close to it. You are close to it. Actually, my previous record is 2.7. Last year when I was lecturing, students they Google it. Because right now you have a very good professor who is Professor Google. Okay, that student say right now the world record is 2.3 seconds. Yeah, so less than 3 seconds. More than 2 seconds. So that's the record to change 4 tires. Imagine how long it take. You are riding a motorcycle. How long it take to change a tire of a motorcycle? 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And if you drive a car, to the garage, it might take, even longer. You need to balance everything, It takes 30 to 1 hour to change the two tires, right? And here, because it's part of a race, because of many people working together, it only takes 2.3 to 2.7 seconds to change 4 tires. And the reason I want to show this photo is I want to tell you that supply chain needs speed and collaboration. And speed comes from collaboration. If these people, there are more than like 20 in this figure, if these people, they don't collaborate, if they don't know their role, everyone know their role, what kind of work they need to do. And if your partner is a little bit slow in some actions, you might help him. Okay, you might do a little bit more. That's about collaboration. And with detail, practice, collaboration scheme, we can really speed up the whole process. So this is I want to show you. I'm not going. My purpose is not show you. Okay, Indy 500, but my purpose is to show you this, because right now supply chain. Actually, here we talk about the essence. You have to remember the essence of supply chain is 2 things. Remember this, 2 things. One is speed, one is low inventory. Okay, remember these 2. This is the whole idea I want to share to you. Even though if you take a whole semester course, if you take different levels of course, like master, PhD in the future, they are all talk about 2 things: how to speed up the process, okay, how to lower down the inventory. Actually, these 2 are contradictive. They are contradictive. If usually, to have short lead time, we prepare a lot of inventory. But with a lot of inventory, you are at high risk of selling out inventory. But if you do not have inventory, and if you just take the order and ready to produce them, your lead time is very long. Okay, so if the car come in and the driver say, okay, I need to change 4 tires, okay, and these people, they just bring the tire for him to select, okay, and okay, how you want to change it, how do you want to balance, etc. And even bargain the price. The whole process will just to take too long. If they are all pre-planned, the whole process could be much faster. So this figure is to tell you that supply chain needs speed and collaboration. And here we didn't talk about inventory here, but we talk about speed. Okay, for the speed, actually is what we usually set the lead time. Okay, the lead time. The lead time for a service, the lead time to supply a part. Okay, and together with the lead time, the other essence of supply chain management is low inventory. Okay, low inventory. And speed and low inventory. And actually, low inventory also means low cost. Okay, low inventory also means low risks. Okay, and we hope that the supply chain is operated under the lower risk structure, and also low cost of operation. Okay, which means that you need to have lower inventory. All right. So remember this: speed and low inventory. Okay, they are the essence of supply chain. So later on, whatever we talk about supply chain phenomenon or supply chain practices or some of the supply chain theories, uh, we are all talk about the speed and low inventory. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Can you respond? Okay. Yeah. So one student is reflecting that the internet is running, slow, and is that my problem or is that a problem? So is that common to all of you?
Professor,
Yes.
sometimes you will be late for like 10 or 20 seconds, and you will be okay. Just sometimes you will be late. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's common to all of you. You all have the same lag at the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. If that is the case, then that's my problem. Yeah, that's my internet problem. But actually, I don't know how to solve it. I'm here, so the internet environment is like this. And but has it ever been halted, disconnected?
Um,
Has been ever disconnected?
Just sometimes.
yeah, sometimes.
Just sometimes. Okay.
You will like your screen will be not moving, and for about like 10 seconds.
Okay, and then you will keep moving.
Yes.
And how about my voice?
Your voice,
The same or?
yeah, the same.
Okay. So whenever my voice is, whenever the screen is lag, my voice is lag, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So once in a while, I need to ask about your opinion. So far, do you have any questions so far? Do you remember two important essence I talk about supply chain?
Yes.
Okay, what are they? Can you repeat?
Just like speed up the process and shorten the time and low daily inventory as well. Just like low cost and low risk.
Okay, great, good. Oh, you are from Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, very good. Okay, so we'll proceed. And if my pause is just too long, you can let me know. Okay, when I'm back. When I'm back. Okay. Okay. Supply chain revolution. We because we only have two classes. 2 weeks of class, so I will be only talking about those main parts of supply chain. Here I put supply chain revolution. Actually, it's use some technology. Actually, it's we call it the ICT technology for collaboration and try to integrate all the process together in order to speed up the process. Okay, if we go back to last century, the last 10 years of the last century, 1990. 1990 is I believe you were not born at that time, right? You were still nowhere in the whole world. You were still nowhere, and but I was young at the time. Okay, and getting my PhD during the time period, and I think that that's a very glorious period. In a lot of senses, in from technology and from the industry. I believe it's. I still think that's a very glorious era. The 10 years. But at that time, when you make an order, it would be very hard for you to imagine that you make an order, and it might take you 2 to 4 weeks before the part, the part or the product can be delivered to you. At that time, I remember I bought some utilities, from the store, and for the home use. For example, I bought a refrigerator, and it really took me about 15 days, before I receive it. They do not have the inventory on hand, so they only produce after I place the order. So the whole process took them about 2 more weeks before they can deliver to me. So speed is very low, 2 more weeks, but the inventory is low for them. But am I happy? Well, if they can deliver in 3 days or 2 days, it's even better. But at the time, they lower down the inventory, so they lower down the price for me. And so for me, I think that I'm not too happy, but I'm still happy because I get, when I wait for like 2 to 4 weeks, I got something low in price. And at that time, Amazon was just established. You might not imagine that Amazon was established at that time, and they were losing money, all the time. In the 1990s, when they just started in the first, say, I forgot the exact year, by about 5 years, they were losing money. But when there's in one of the board meeting, for one of the quarter, they are having some profit. So all the investors were very happy. They gather together, and hopefully they can get some bonus from the company because it's making money. After all those years of losing money, but Amazon announced that they are not going to issue the bonus to all the investors. They ask the investor to be patient, and because after their questionnaire, from customer, they found out one thing, that the customer were happy about the whole process, everything, but they complain about the speed. And at the time, believe it or not, it takes them really 2 to 4 weeks to get a book, when they order from Amazon. Why? Because at the time, the Amazon do not have a distribution center, and all the product you order are delivered from the supplier. For example, bookstore, book publisher, and book publisher they don't get used to deliver one book to a destination. Usually they deliver boxes, a few boxes. They will deliver to some of the stores. And right now they have to change their way of doing business. They had to deliver one book to a customer. And it takes them for the adjustment. So usually when you place the order at the time, Amazon, it takes you 2 to 4 weeks. So all the customers will complain about that. So after that, Amazon said that I'm not going to give back all the bonuses they make during this quarter, but instead they are going to use the money for the investment of distribution center. So they established 2 distribution center. One is in Delaware. I'm not sure about the geography of the United States. That's closer to D.C., Washington D.C., the capital. There's in the Peninsular State, they would call it Delaware. It's a little bit south of New York. And the other is in state of Washington, okay, in Seattle. So they established 2 distribution centers, one in east, one in west. And after that, they begin to to buy the textbook and everything back to their distribution center. And when you place the order, they try to make you get the order in a week. So that's their promise, from 2 to 4 weeks to 1 week. That's their first promise, and then they try to lower it down to 3 days. And right now, Amazon has around the whole U.S. more than 100 distribution centers, and they are doing something that they have the same day delivery, even in a big country like United States. In many of the big cities, so when you place the order in the morning, right? For example, right now, you get the order in the afternoon. Okay, so they change everything. And right now, you might think that it's a standard, but believe me, it's a lot of efforts and investment in order to have the whole distributed network to be that responsive. Okay, so when you have longer lead time, you will create you a lot of inventory, and you will have bullwhip effect. We'll talk about this. This is a very important effect in supply chain. We call it the bullwhip effect. And you also have to know that the world no longer has scarcity, so the competition is even more intense than before. in the 1990s, before that, at that time, actually, China had just entered the world economy. Okay. In 1990s, China is not still very apparent. They are just, a little bit larger, about probably in 1990s. The whole GDP of China is about probably only 5 times of Taiwan, compared to, our, our population size. Taiwan is very strong at the time compared to China. But all the investors from Taiwan to China, at least they will expand their factory by at least 10 to 30 times. So the production volume just surged. Okay. So and in China, a lot of Taiwanese company and many companies from around the world, they go to China to invest and produce in large quantity. So after all the production, how about consumption? Consumption will not change in just such a rapid way. Production can be surged in a short time, but how about consumption? What you need is all this, right? If you eat too much, you just getting fat and with less money. So consumption just move up slowly, but production just surge. So the competition to sell the part is even more intense than before. And customer has shifted from at the old time we only accept what the producers give us, and right now we have the option of choosing what we want. And the ICT become mature, and the first place they use in actually is in supply chain to help the manufacturer, to help the distribution center, to integrate all together. We call it, we need information and communication technology, ICT. And right now we are also affected by them. For example, we're using Wi-Fi, we have 4G, cell phone, 4G, and right now it's going to have 5Gs. And 5G become very responsive, so we can have, driverless car. And JIT, Six Sigma, they have shaped today's industry because everything you do have to be, very high in quality. And actually, right now, JIT principle is being challenged because in JIT, many of the companies they are having only one source of supply. Actually, the supplier has only one in the whole world. But right now, because of many problems, for example, the COVID problem, natural disaster problem, etc. If you have only one source of supply, it will create you a lot of risk. So people, company are trying to spread their risks, and so they have more supplier than before. And the company are pursuing the perfect order. Okay, right assortment, quantity, right place, damage free, etc. Okay, and all these we need ICT to help them. Okay, before we move to our topic one, and any questions so far? So do you have still lag, right?
It seems stable now, so
Okay, okay, great. Okay, we still have 4 minutes, so we'll talk about introduction about the first book, our topic. So that's our forward so far, and we'll talk about our, in the supply chain. This chapter I separated into some topics, and the first topic is about the bullwheel effect in supply chain. And what is a bullwheel effect? All these words you can read yourself, okay? We just look at this. Okay, the bullwhip effect. Let's say this is the end demand. Okay, for example, the end demand we can say it's the demand from you. Okay, when you a buyer from the EC, or if you are a store, retail store like 7-Eleven or something, okay, you are the end demand points, okay, the end demand. And when you have a little bit of fluctuation, it's going to fluctuate even more as you go up. The up here, for example, the retailer is here, the wholesaler are here, manufacturers are here. So what they encounter is when the supply chain is lack of transparency. You can, if for example, if you are the manufacturer and you cannot see the real demand from the market side, what you usually faces are the demand like this. You might wait there and without any order, and one day you will get a lot of orders. Okay, and you might have a wrong judgment. You might thought that, well, the market is become very, very good, but actually it's just a little bit of ripple at the end demand. So the inventory and the order demand will become larger as you move further upward. So this is the phenomenon of bullwhip effect. Okay. So blah blah blah. As you can see, that if we supply chain, because they take a lot of layer, and the demand will amplify. Okay, even larger as you go up to the supply side. And why is the reason? It is because of delay of information passing back to be some information distortion. Okay, distortion occurred at each stage of the supply chain. And is it good to have the bullwhip effect? The problem of bullwhip effect, is going to collapse the whole supply chain. Because, for example, if you are here, a little bit of ripple become a very large much larger of amplitude. So what you face is a large order, a lot of inventory, etc. And a lot of time it will make you bankruptcy. Okay, you will have wrong investment decision, and you will end up bankruptcy. So what we want to do is we have to try to limit the bullwhip effect. So the bullwhip effect is not good. It's not good. Okay. So this is this is the demand from a little bit of demand increase, for example, for 8 weeks, and impulse demand, okay, from 3,000 to 6,000 for 8 weeks, and the demand is gone. And what it created, we have the delay here 4 weeks, 2 weeks, and we have VMI. Okay, you just remember that we'll talk about what is VMI later. And this is what it responds. So right now it seems that round 2 is good because the delay is 2 weeks. What does it mean by here? The delay. Delay here means that when a retailer gets the order to the wholesaler will respond in 2 weeks. Okay, and when the wholesaler place the order to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer will respond in 2 weeks. And here it will respond in 4 weeks. As we say that in the 1990s, that's a common lead time, 2 to 4 weeks. Actually, even right now, in the consumer part, it's very responsive. Same day or 2 days or 3 days. But in the supply chain part, wholesaler, manufacturer, and also the supplier, 2 to 4 weeks is still common. Okay, it is still common. When you order some part, it will take them some time to produce. Some part, it will take even longer lead time. But it is still common. Okay. How about the wholesaler? As you see here, when you are at the middle part as a wholesaler, when you have the delay of 4 weeks, you don't respond to your wholesaler, to your retailer in 4 weeks, you will have the inventory digest. And for the 2 weeks, you will have inventory digest. But if you are doing the VMI, VMI is the vendor managed inventory strategy practiced by the wholesaler. You will only have a little bit of amplitude, and then it's gone. Okay, it becomes stable. As you see, for the 4 weeks, you won't get stable. Here, only 8 weeks of increase, okay, of the demand, by double for only 8 weeks. And here is the effect. For the 4 weeks, it's almost 140 weeks, right? It just amplifies like this. And for the 2 weeks, it's much faster, still about 50 weeks, right? 8 weeks of demand at the retailer part, even for the 2 weeks, it takes you 50 days to be stabilized, right? For VMI, it's also close to 50 weeks, but your fluctuation is not that big. How about for manufacturer? If it's 4 weeks, you see this is a manufacturer will go up to almost 200 weeks. And for the 2 weeks, about 60 weeks. VMI, not bad, only a few weeks. So VMI is a much better choice. Okay, we'll talk about what is VMI. Okay, and this is the traditional way of doing business. Your lead time is very long. When you get the order, you just manufacture and deliver to that. That's the old way of doing it. And actually, you don't know what's going on at the customer side. Okay, that's usually the case. And the bullwhip effect, as I mentioned, is not good. The manufacturer cost, inventory lead time, transportation time will all go up. It's not good at all. The customer service and profit rate will go down. Okay, so this is the effect of bullwhip. So, any questions so far? We'll have 10 minutes of break. Okay, up to 10:15. All right, we can all take some rest. Okay, and we'll continue later.